Everybody, it's Monday, June 15th. We're in the 11th week, and I'd like to read from the Gospel of Matthew, continuing the Sermon on the Mount, chapter 5. Jesus said to his disciples, "You have heard what it was said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, offer no resistance to one who is evil. When someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn the other one to him as well. If anyone wants to go to law with you over your tunic, hand them over your cloak as well. Should anyone press you into service for 1 mile, go with him for 2 miles. Give to the one who asks of you. Do not turn your back on one who wants to borrow." The Gospel of the Lord. Amen. Anyway, share a story about this woman. Her name is Mary and her husband Jim. They had a dog, Lucky. And Lucky was a real character. Whenever Mary and Jim had company for a weekend, they warned their visitors, please do not leave your luggage open, because Lucky would help himself to whatever struck his fancy and bring it to his little toy box, his treasure. Sure enough, someone would forget to close it and something would come up missing. Well, Mary and Jim, who would go to Lucky's toy box in the basement, there they would find the treasure amid all his other favorite toys. Lucky always stashed his toys, his finds in his toy box, and he was very particular that his toys stay in the box. Very possessive dog. Well, unfortunately, Mary found that she had breast cancer. And she had the overriding feeling that she was going to die, that was going to be fatal. Well, they scheduled a double mastectomy, fear riding on her shoulder. And anyway, she cuddled Lucky before she left the hospital. And she thought, what would happen to Lucky if I were not to make it? Well, she moved on and she had the operation, but she had a much, much difficult time than the doctors anticipated. She was in the hospital, hospitalized for over 2 weeks. Jim, her husband, took care of Lucky for his walks, but the dog wasn't the same. He drooped, he moped. He missed Mary. Well, anyway, Mary finally came home from the hospital. When she arrived home, she was exhausted. She couldn't even make it up the stairs to go to her bedroom, so what Jim did, he made his wife just feel comfortable on the couch and to rest there. Anyway, when she was home, then she, of course, couldn't wait to see Lucky, and Lucky watched Mary, but unusually, he didn't come to her when Mary called. And that hurt Mary, hurt her deeply. She loved Lucky, and she thought Lucky loved her. But when she called, he seemingly ignored her. Well, soon, just being exhausted, she fell asleep into a deep sleep. Anyway, while she's sleeping, she says she had the sense that she couldn't move her head or her body. Everything felt so heavy, and she became very hot. And so panic set in and soon gave way to laughter when she realized what her problem was. She was covered, literally blanketed, with every treasure Lucky owned. So while she was sleeping, good old Lucky would make a trip up and down to the basement, bringing his beloved toys, his favorite things in life, and he covered her with his love. Well, she forgot about dying, the spirits were lifted, and she was doing fine. And Lucky is happy as ever. You see, that dog was willing to share, to give. For him, his most cherished treasures, he gave it to Mary. And so Lord asks us too, to give to one who is in need. And of course, I always caution, be careful, But if someone is really in need, we ought to share. We ought to feel a pinch, feel a little hurt, feel a little sting, feel a little uncomfortable. But we ought to be generous. Do not turn your back on the one who is in need. God bless you.